Hey everybody, it's Corby DVS and Neo Flynn back again.
Hey everybody.
Um, this is episode 3 of the second season. This is going to be a pretty cool episode, I think. I really like the topic thing. We got some pretty good material for the topic. I'm kind of anxious to get to that. Um, but before that, we have some other stuff. First is being the comments from the last video. We'll go ahead and start with the oldest. And Television Dude left left quite a few. He says, I remember when the PS1 was referred to as the PSX. It wasn't called PS1 until PS2 came out. Smiley face. And then he says, more talk on retro games, please. Smiley face. And finally, oh, not finally. Oh, he has 5 comments. Wow. Then he says, I don't get into multiplayer games, not unless I'm playing with a friend offline, but I usually prefer playing most games by myself. I'm a loner, daddy. What's that a reference to?
I
I'm a loner, daddy. Oh,
I
I've
don't
heard
know.
that before.
You got me.
It's gonna bother me now. Hold on, one sec. Loner, daddy. Oh, Pee Wee. Yeah, it's from Pee Wee Herman when he's in the
Right.
bike shop. That's right, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. All right. Nice reference. He then says, yes, Baseball Stars, my favorite baseball game of all time, but there are a few others that rank up there as well. I don't like modern baseball games, just the good old retro ones. Okay, and then he says, I have one Baseball Stars video myself, the Retro All-Stars, but we lost, LOL. My ultimate goal that I never got around to doing was maxing out to create 2 teams with nothing but my subs. It ended up being a lot of work, so I did it with Ken Griffey Jr. on the Super NES instead, since it was easier and it was just as fun as Baseball Stars. Actually, I have Ken Griffey Jr. It is a pretty fun game.
Yeah, it's not bad. It just doesn't have that nostalgia value like Baseball Stars, you know.
All right, and then somebody had a reply. Canon S24, I guess is how you'd say it. He replied to a television dude and said, I never understand why people call the PS1 a PSX when they are 2 different systems. If anything, it makes more sense for people to call a PS2 a PSX, considering they share the most common capabilities. In any case, I prefer playing single player due to the fact that I find the AI to have a greater intelligence than some players. Not only that, but I like the immersion in my games, which is why I play JRPGs, but that's just me. SOL's Game Room says, I think bias towards single player or multiplayer has a lot to do with what generation you came from, not necessarily the age of the generation of gaming at which you started playing games. I'm all about single player. I will not buy a game just for the multiplayer, like a lot of people do these days. I don't need multiplayer to enjoy Sonic and Missile Command, LOL. I love Missile Command so much. That's
That
my
is a
favorite
fun game.
2600 game.
Yeah, I think that's one of those, like, if you grew up playing the old school games, there was no online multiplayer, so I think if you grew up playing those kind of games, you're more apt to just play single player and not care so much about the multiplayer.
Yeah,
But
multiplayer really didn't. I mean, during the Super Nintendo era, it wasn't even hardly a thing.
yeah, I mean, you had the local multiplayer, like, playing Street Fighter against yourself. I mean, or not yourself, but, your buddies. But it's not anywhere like it is today. So
Yeah, I think it got more popular. Well, PC gaming I think helped a lot with
yeah,
like Doom and Duke Nukem. But then when the N64 came around, games like GoldenEye and Mario Kart on the Super NES had it, but I think it was a lot better on the 64.
yeah, because that was the first, 64 and Dreamcast was the first time you had you could play 4 players on one console.
Yep. And then Mario Party. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, the Saturn had online multiplayer. I didn't even think to mention that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it had I think there was only 6 games for it. Let me see if I can ramble them off here. It's Duke Nukem, it's Saturn Bomberman, and I'm not going to be able to tell you anymore. Other than there's a racing one, Sega Rally Championships, I think. Or no, it's Daytona
I was
USA,
gonna say probably Daytona.
I think. And it's the NetLink edition. That's like the rarest Saturn game there is,
Huh.
from what I hear. Yeah, it fetches a little bit. um, okay, Mr. B Lands, aka James, he says, "Good episode, guys. I like the conversation about multiplayer gaming. There was a time I wasn't a fan of having development time spent on modes that I didn't use. Now, though, if I can play it multiplayer with Neo Flynn, it'll make me buy a game that I otherwise might not even consider. I think it's best when you have situations like BioShock 2, not the best game where one team makes a single player its own experience and another team makes the multiplayer, creating two distinct modes." That's that's true. Yeah, I like that's I've never played BioShock, so I can't really,
Yeah,
you know.
but that that's one way of doing it where you have two different teams working on the two different modes. But sometimes that can kind of create like a disconnect between the two modes. But
Yeah. I didn't even know BioShock had multiplayer. How is it?
BioShock 2 does, but I haven't played it, so I
Oh,
know BioShock 1 doesn't. I don't think have multiplayer at all. But
oh.
I haven't played either of them yet, so they're on my list. But
My friend always hounds me to play them. He acts like they're the best games ever and whatever. He hounds me to get so many games. I usually just don't do it.
yeah, well, what James says in there is true. Like we've bought games just with the intention of playing multiplayer, co-op together, which is what I kind of mentioned last week. But
Like Borderlands. Did you guys play Borderlands?
here and there, not a whole lot, but God, we spent so much time playing that game. It's really sad how much time we spent playing that game. But we bought like I think he already had Lost Planet 2, but then he talked me into Lost Planet 2 just so we could play that co-op and like Bulletstorm and Brink, which we haven't even played yet. There's a whole list of them that we have, but we're stuck on Halo Anniversary right now. So.
Oh, very nice. All right, and last but not least, Ballin Nick 1982 says, "Great episode. I'm more of a single-player gamer. In fact, I never play multiplayer, but then again, I rarely play FPSs, though. Oh, I'm sorry. I rarely play FPSs, though, but I do like to take a break from RPGs every once in a while and play an FPS. It upsets me that reviewers will dock major points for lack of multiplayer games nowadays. Metroid Prime was amazing from what I played, but never finished it. Glad you are enjoying Xenoblade, Tyler. It makes my top 10 RPG list for sure. Once again, great episode." Um, I can't think of an example where I've seen a reviewer knock down multiplayer, but I have seen it. I know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened, but I
Yeah.
can't cite anything specific.
One thing I don't like, I don't know if I even mentioned this in the last episode, but I think now game developers feel obligated to include multiplayer, and then when they do and it sucks, then they get points knocked down. It doesn't even
Yeah,
matter how good the single player is. So,
right.
all right, well that's it for the comments. So we can go ahead and move on to the news segment. I guess I'll go ahead and start. I have a short one here. It's nothing too major. I think we've mentioned this game every episode so far, and it's Halo 4 again. But this is pretty cool news. It's the release date's confirmed for November 6th of this year. Um, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet because it's just a few days before my birthday. So, you know,
There
looking
you go.
forward to that. I'm excited. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other day, but they released a new video for it. It was on Conan, Conan O'Brien.
I heard about them doing that, but I haven't actually seen it.
It's a pretty funny video. Him and Andy Richter go to the 343 studios and do some voiceover stuff. It's pretty funny. But yeah, just a short news thing there. But it's confirmed for November 6th. I hope they show some at E3. I really want to see it.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, they probably will.
What was my first one? Gotta pull it up again. There it is. Okay. Oh yeah, this which I hadn't even heard about this before until I found this link. But Disney is actually making a game. Excuse me, not a game, but a movie based around video games, and it's called Wreck-It Ralph. Which is first of all, it's an awesome name, but and basically it's gonna be like just an homage to like everything from old school like Donkey Kong, which is kind of what Wreck-It Ralph is based upon, is Donkey Kong. and it's from what they say, it's got all kinds of homages to just from everything from Halo to Donkey Kong Country, just all kinds of stuff. It's being helmed by Rich Moore, who's most noted for doing some of the best episodes of The Simpsons and Futurama. So it's got some a good base behind it, and it's going to be in the vein of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where they have actual video game characters incorporated into it.
Oh, that'll be
Um,
cool.
yeah, so like Bowser, Dr. Robotnik, and the ghost from Pac-Man supposedly are going to be in it.
Hmm.
And they make a joke about Dennis Hopper reprising his role as Bowser, but
Oh.
but yeah, they show a couple of concept art, and one of them looks like these space marines shooting at insects that kind of looks Halo-esque, and then they've got a picture that looks kind of like the Donkey Kong Country map. But yeah, it's got John C. Reilly as the voice of Ralph, who's, like I said, an analog of Donkey Kong, who spends his life trading blows with his goody two-shoes nemesis, Fix-It Felix. And taking a page from Grendel, Ralph grows weary of being the villain and decides to embark on a pilgrimage across video game history in order to find a venue to display his true heroism. So it just sounds like something really cool, like we might actually have a good movie based around video games.
Yeah, that's rare. Yeah.
Outside of like Mortal Kombat, I don't think it's really happened. So I just thought that was interesting. I hadn't even heard of it until I stumbled across that article. But it sounds very cool. So
Yeah. When's that come out, does it say?
I have to rescan it here. Hits theaters November 2nd.
Oh, cool. Hey, right around Halo 4. All right.
There you go.
Get you in the mood for the Halo 4.
Right.
Okay. All right, so this one this is pretty cool. They're making a new James Bond game, and I guess the title right now is 007 Legends. And what it is, it's like they're tying together 6 James Bond movies. I don't think they say which. It says 6 classic Bond movies, concluding with the forthcoming Skyfall, which is the one that I think is coming out this year.
Yeah.
It says the game promises to equip players with state-of-the-art spy gadgets and an arsenal of weapons, including Bond's signature Walther PPK and sleek vehicles, and take them to various exotic locations. And it's also going to have the MI6 ops missions from the GoldenEye Reloaded. I didn't play GoldenEye Reloaded, but I did get 007 on the Wii. It was a pretty cool game, I thought. Not excellent, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I played the N64 version, but I haven't played any of the re-releases.
But this got me to thinking a little bit about some James Bond games. The GoldenEye on the Wii is a good one, and obviously GoldenEye on the N64 is classic. But my favorite 007 game is actually Nightfire on the GameCube. Have you played that one?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I think
the one that I remember was Agent Under Fire, but I think Nightfire was either the sequel or just the GameCube release of it. But yeah, there were a couple good ones in that era.
Yeah.
I think it's better when they don't try and base it off a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think those usually turn out better,
Yeah.
with GoldenEye being maybe the exception. But
Yeah, it's true. I remember when Nightfire came out, I was looking for the Nightfire movie, and it didn't. So.
Couldn't find it.
I've heard that World Is Not Enough on the N64 is pretty good too.
I have not played that one. So.
Yeah, but I've heard Stay Away from Tomorrow Never Dies. So stay clear. All right, well, that's something. I don't know if I'll get. I'll probably wait for reviews and maybe check it out later. But it sounded interesting.
Yeah, I mean Bond games are always interesting. I think so.
Yeah,
it's one of those characters that you just love to play around with. So.
Yeah. Right. I like this article that you picked here.
Oh yeah. Who knew Yahoo was the go-to place for your news article this week? But yeah, basically I think it's just a blog, but it wound up on the front page actually of Yahoo, which is how I found it. But it's basically just an article talking about the potential of the $60 game, ending, and it brings up, a box copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 costs $60, whereas Angry Birds, the world's best-selling mobile game, costs $1. So it's like, there's such a gap between mobile games and regular games, and game sales have really plummeted in the last few years. The recession has a lot to do with it, but especially people like my age, we want to play games, but I can't go out every week and drop $60 on every new release game.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to pick and choose what I'm going to play. So I think it would be in their best interest to lower the price. Like, you're still gonna make money because you'll sell more if you lower the price. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't think it was in the actual article, but I think someone in the comments brings up like, having it tiered to where you've got, the upper tier games like Call of Duty or whatever, you could charge, $50 or whatever. But then the lower ones, make 30 or make 20, and you'll be more apt to sell them rather than putting everything out at $60, which, they've kind of done that in the past with a few titles, and I think that's where they need to go. Like, not every game needs to cost $60.
Yeah. I'm hard pressed to spend $60 on a new game. Um, I usually do. I'm trying to think of the last game I bought brand new. Um, it was Xenoblade actually, but I only paid 50 for that because it's a Wii game. But I think the last 360 game I bought brand new was Rage, which got mixed reviews. I thought it was really good, but the price on that now you can get it used for like $15, which really
Yeah, it really came down.
pisses me off. It does. That's why I hate spending $60 because not too long it's gonna be quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah, it's gotta be like really gotta be a game that I want to play right away for me to plunk down $60.
Like Halo 4, I'll have no problem.
Right, yeah.
But
Borderlands 2, yeah, I'm gonna buy, but anything else, I'll probably wait.
Yeah, $60. That does seem kind of a lot, but we'll kind of talk about it later with the topic of the show there. That it has a list of software prices through the years. That's a pretty interesting little tidbit of information for some people who think $60 is too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, $60 is a lot. But I think when you look at like mobile games, in the amount of effort it makes to make Angry Birds as opposed to they compare Modern Warfare 3. There's a lot more effort, I think.
Yeah.
that would go into that. That would warrant more than $1. I'm interested. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think what would be like the fairest price they could charge. Because obviously, 60 is high. That is high. I remember they were only 50 last gen, I believe.
I don't know. I would say, 40 to 50 I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
Which isn't that big of a drop, but it just sounds cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
Like $60 just sounds like a lot, so.
Yeah.
But, they bring up an interesting comparison on Plants vs. Zombies, which, on the iPhone costs $3, on the PlayStation Vita it's $15, and it's the exact same game, literally. So, like, why am I paying $12 extra to play it on my Vita,
That's true.
So, it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
I think maybe if, I think we've talked about that before where, eventually it's going to go all digital. And if it gets to that point and they're still charging $60, then we got problems.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not getting a disc. I'm not getting an instruction manual. What are you spending $60 on?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I think, once they go download, they'll probably go cheaper, I would imagine. But
they better.
So, I don't know. Here's a scenario. What do you think? Would you rather have $60 for actual copies or have the price go down and be download only?
Can I not pay $60 and still have my actual copies?
After about 6 months, you can.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. 'Cause
I think I'd still pick $60 for a new game because, like I said, they do go down in price, and you can buy them used. There's no way you can get a used download game.
Yeah, this is true.
So
it's tough, especially for us because we're collectors. So like we want that physical piece of hardware. So
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Okay, all right. Well, unless you have anything else, we can go ahead and move on to the gaming spotlight.
That's it for me.
Okay. All right, this is pretty cool. This time we're going to look at launch titles. A few months rather, Game Informer, which is the only gaming magazine I'm subscribed to, which I want to change because I want to get back to Nintendo Power. But anyway, they had in the classic section, they went through all of the console releases for the most part, from the Atari 2600 all the way up to the 3DS. They don't have the Vita because that wasn't out at the time. But this is pretty cool, and they give them all a letter grade, and they tell you what games were available at launch. And I thought it'd be fun to go quickly through some and see what we thought. So they skipped the Odyssey, and the first one they have is the Atari 2600, and they gave it a B+. The titles available are Air Sea Battle, Basic Math, Blackjack, Combat, Indy 500, Starship, Street Racer, Surround, and Video Olympics.
Not a bad little lineup.
Yeah, of those games, I've played 2. Combat and Surround. And I gotta tell you, Surround is a really fun game. It's so basic, but it's really fun.
Yeah, and Combat was awesome.
Combat's the same way, like really basic, but fun. Okay, the Mattel Intellivision, they gave a B-. The titles that were at launch are AP or ABPA Backgammon, Armor Battle, Basketball, Electric Company Math Fun, Golf Hockey, Las Vegas Poker and Blackjack, that was a pack-in game, Las Vegas Roulette, Major League Baseball, NFL Football, Sea Battle, Skiing, Soccer, Space Battle, and Tennis. All right.
It's quite the lineup there.
Yeah, there's really no games in there that I'd consider that great for the Intellivision, I guess.
Nah.
Math Fun, that's probably a goodie.
Of course.
I wish they had like Burger Time or Snafu, which is just Surround on the Intellivision. That was a really great game. But whatever. Okay, next is the ColecoVision. Oh, I should probably say years. The 2600 was 77, Intellivision 1980. The ColecoVision is 82. I thought the ColecoVision was 83, but whatever. Okay, it says they gave it a B+, and the games available at launch are Carnival, Cosmic Avenger, Donkey Kong, which was the pack-in game, Ladybug, Mousetrap, Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle, Turbo, Venture, and Zaxxon. There's some pretty good games in there. Donkey Kong, Ladybug, and Mousetrap. I have all those. Those are all great games. Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. Do you have a ColecoVision?
I do not, actually.
Okay, well, Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle is like a platformer, and it is the most annoying game ever. You'd have to watch gameplay. It's just so ridiculous. But other than that, you got Donkey Kong, which was like, at the time, was the most superior version of Donkey Kong. I forget where I heard this, but I actually heard a rumor once that if you look on the 2600 and the Intellivision, and you look who made Donkey Kong, it's Coleco. And they're both vastly inferior to the ColecoVision version. Like, the ColecoVision version is not arcade perfect, but it's pretty close to looking as good as it could. The Intellivision version looks terrible, and the 2600 version doesn't fare any better. So I heard that ColecoVision made those two inferior on purpose to help boost the sales of their own. Huh. Which is pretty smart when you think about it. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of dumb of the other two to let Coleco make their game, but
yeah. Well, I don't think. Yeah, well, Nintendo wasn't around yet. Well, as far as a game maker, they were just arcade at the time and Game and Watch, I think. But yeah, they gave the ColecoVision a B+. All right. Well, this one was kind of funny because this system makes zero sense to me. The Atari 5200, they gave an F, and the games available at launch are Super Breakout, Galaxian, and Space Invaders. All games you can get on the 2600. It baffles me, really.
Yeah, that's probably like the worst launch ever.
That's really bad. All right, what do we got next? That was 82. Next is, the NES. They gave the NES a solid A. Nice. Okay, there's quite a few. Basically, all the black box games for the NES. 10-Yard Fight, Baseball, Clue Land, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. That one has an asterisk next to it. Available at the NES National Launch in 1986. Okay, whatever. So Donkey Kong Jr. Math, Duck Hunt, which was a pack-in game. Excite-Bite, Golf, Gyromite. That was also a pack-in game with the Rob set, I believe.
The Rob set, yeah.
Hogan's Alley, Ice Climber, Kung Fu, Mach Rider, Pinball, Soccer, Stack Up, Super Mario Bros., which was a later pack-in game, it says. Tennis, Wild Gunman, and Wrecking Crew. There's some pretty good games in there.
Yeah.
I think most black box NES games are at least somewhat decent. Like, you got Mario, of course, Duck Hunt. What else?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you got them, Mario Brothers and Um,
Duh.
the classics.
Oh,
Yeah, like you said, the black box games.
yeah.
All of those are good.
Um,
The
we
ice
got
hockey and the black.
Wrecking Crew. Have you played Wrecking Crew?
I have not.
Wrecking Crew is a pretty fun game. It's like an arcade game. Um, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You go around like you play as like Mario, really, and you smash these blocks at a construction site while avoiding the enemies. I don't know what they are, but I've only played it a few times. But it's a pretty fun game. Um, you know what's interesting about black box games? They are the most oddly priced things I have ever seen. Like, let's take for example the game Clue Land. That game for just the cartridge is probably less than $10. But if it's complete in box, it goes for upwards of 150.
That's insane.
Yeah, the box Donkey Kong Jr. Math for a cart is about $40. I can't even imagine what a complete box for that one goes through. Gyro might stack up is pretty expensive too. They're just weird prices.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, after the NES, we have the Atari 7800, which they have given an F. It has Asteroids, Joust, and Miss Pac-Man. Once more, all games you can get on the Atari 2600.
Yeah, Joust is a good one, but I don't know how that version is.
Yeah, I've never played. I've only played. Actually, I don't know if I've ever played Joust. Really,
Wow.
I know what it's like, but I've never played it. But yeah, those games. I don't know what. That's why I have a hard time playing like Atari systems because if I'm gonna play an Atari console, it's probably gonna be the 2600, and it's probably gonna be Space Invaders. Other than that, I have a hard time playing. Like if somebody said to me that they think the Atari 7800 is better than the NES or something, I I wouldn't even know what to say.
It just need to be smacked in the head.
Yeah, can you imagine playing a game like I don't know, like Contra on the 7800? God, it'd be massacre. Um, yeah, I don't know. They gave that one an F. All right, next is the Master System in '86. They gave this one a C minus. Um, wow, seriously? There's only 2 games available at launch. Well, 3 technically, but only 2 cartridges. Actually, 1 cartridge. This is weird. Hang On and Safari Hunt was a pack-in game, and then Snail Maze is the hidden game built in the system. I don't know how you access that game. It's like holding reset or something weird, but
Weird.
that is Hang On and Safari Hunt are in 1 cartridge, and Snail Maze is built in the system. So at launch, there was only 1 game you could buy.
And they gave it a C minus still. Not
Yeah,
an F.
well, in all fairness, Hang On and Safari Hunt is a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Hang On's like a space shooter, I'm pretty sure, and oh no, Hang On's the bicycle,
The motorcycle
quattro.
racing. Yeah.
Yeah, Safari Hunt I think is a light phaser game, and then Snail Maze I've actually never played. All right,
I have to
next.
look up how to access Snail Maze because that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how you do it. I don't know if all of them have it either. I don't know. I think they might. I don't know. I've never played it though. All right, next is the TurboGrafx 16, which they gave a C+. This has quite a few pretty decent games at launch. It has Alien Crush, China Warrior, Dungeon Explorer, Keith Courage and Alpha Zones, which was a pack-in game, the legendary Axe, Power Golf, R-Type, Victory Run, and Vigilante. Dungeon Explorer, R-Type, those are the only ones I've played. Victory Run, I don't know what that is, but I don't know.
I've played a lot of TurboGrafx 16 games. But
I don't even have a TurboGrafx. I kind of want one though.
I have one somewhere, but I have no idea where I put it when I moved. So I haven't seen it since I moved, but it's somewhere.
People who have it seem to really like it.
Yeah, I mean it's got a good little selection of games like the Bonk's Adventure, the was it Captain Courage I think it's called.
Keith Courage, yeah.
Keith Courage, there you go. And then Devil's Crush was on there. So that pinball game was like the best pinball game ever for that era anyway.
I've heard it's really good for spaceship shooters.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Okay, next is the mighty Sega Genesis, and they gave it a B. That's pretty fair, I guess, for these games. Altered Beast, a pack-in game. Last Battle, which I think is a fighting game, if I'm not mistaken. Space Harrier 2, Super Thunderblade, Thunder Force 2, and Tommy Lasorda Baseball. Altered Beast is excellent. Well, I think it
Yeah.
is. That game seems to get a lot of hate from people. Oh, it's overrated. Yeah, well, it
I
probably is, but that's the game I grew up playing, so that's the game
I
I'm
don't
sticking.
yeah, see. I don't think it is overrated because like you got to think about compared to games now. Obviously, you would think that, but
Sure, yeah.
you know, back then.
I mean, um, it is one of my each system I have sort of has like a go-to game. Like if I'm bored and it's like, I'll pop out the Sega Genesis. Altered Beast is one of the games. It's like I could put that in any time.
Right.
So I like that game a lot. And then you got Last Battle. I've never played. Space Harrier 2. I've heard that's pretty decent. Space Harrier is a pretty fun arcade game. Super Thunderblade. That's a helicopter shooter. That's supposed to be a pretty fun one too. Thunder Force 2, I actually have that one. That's a good spaceship shooter. I really want to get Thunder Force 3 and Lightning Force, which is Thunder Force 4, basically. And then last but probably least for sure is Tommy Lasorda Baseball. I think I have that actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's got Tommy Lasorda's name on it, it can't be too bad, right?
I don't know. I think I remember playing it once, and it's baseball. I don't know. It's no baseball stars, that's for sure.
Right? Well, not. I mean, nothing really is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, here is Mike Gardner's handheld of choice, the Atari Lynx.
Atari Lynx.
Yeah, they gave this one a C. Oh, I like the description of the Atari Lynx. The size, battery consumption, 6 AA's, and price, $189.95, were some of the dings against the Atari Lynx, even with its color backlit screen. The games that were available were Blue Lightning, California Games, Electro Cop, and Gates of Zendokan. I've heard of one of those games, and it's California Games, and that's because I had it on the Genesis.
Yeah, California Games is awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game. Wait, did you say it was awesome or awful?
Awesome.
Okay, good. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I was like, or maybe I had it on the NES. I think it was on both. Whatever. But yeah, I've literally heard of one of those games. Okay, these are really arranged odd on the page. I guess next would be the Game Boy, which they gave a B+. It has Alleyway, Baseball, Super Mario Land, Tennis, and Tetris, which is a pack-in game. I mean, when you get the Game Boy, when the Game Boy first came out, if you got Super Mario Land and Tetris, you were set for hours.
Oh yeah.
I can play Tetris for a long time.
I still play Tetris, like the original Tetris.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Super Mario Land was, for like a handheld title, that was ridiculously good.
I've actually never played the first one. I had the second one. I don't have it anymore, but I had the second one, and it was good. I don't think it was as good as the NES ones, of course, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for a handheld,
Yeah, for a
you
handheld,
can't go wrong.
Yep. All right, next is the Game Gear. They gave this one a C, just like the Atari Lynx. It says the titles available at launch were Castle of Illusion, Columns, which was a pack-in game, G-Lock Air Battle, Psychic World, Revenge of Drancon, and Super Monaco GP. Castle of Illusion is an excellent game. That's a really great platformer. I have it on the Genesis. I've never played this version. I assume they're similar. Columns, that's a decent puzzle game. It's not as good as Tetris.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah. I like how they made it the pack-in game, kind of like Nintendo with Tetris.
Yeah.
All right, they gave that a C in 91. All right, next is the Super NES. They gave an A-. Badass. This game actually only has 2 launch titles. Wow. Super Mario World was the pack-in. Oh, 3, I'm sorry. Super Mario World, F-Zero, and Pilot Wings. Besides Pilot Wings, which I don't really care for, though I've hardly ever played it, Super Mario World and F-Zero are great games.
Yeah, but I really like Pilot Wings, so
I
would
played
say
it
those are
once.
3.
I remember. Well, yeah, that shows how much experience I have. I played it once, and I could not get the plane off the ground or something weird. But maybe if I played it more, I'd probably like it more, I guess. But
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good once you get once you get the hang of it. But I mean, to me, those are 3 like top-notch titles. So that's that's a good launch.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have 3 awesome games than 10 craptacular ones.
It says in the description that they gave Super Mario World a perfect 10 in the classic Game Informer review in 2000. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive.
And well deserved, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's probably of the classic Marios. That's probably what I played the most. All right, so after the oh man, we're going on a little bad streak here. After the Super NES, first is the 3DO, which they gave a C minus actually. They had Alone in the Dark, Myst, and Star Control 2. Never played any of them. I've heard of 2 of them, Alone in the Dark and Myst.
I've played Myst, but not the 3DO version. I played the Saturn version, but
No, Myst is like a classic PC game, isn't it?
yeah, it's it's kind of the point and click style, but it's not an adventure game. It's more of a puzzle solving. Like that's the whole game is solving puzzles. So if you like puzzles, it's good. But I don't know. I couldn't stand it. But and then the ending is just so stupid. What you have to do at the end. Not even gonna get into it, but it's just a really dumb, obscure like thing that you have to do at the end that really just pisses you off once you figure it out. But anyway, not to be the worst thing about the 3DO was the price at launch. Man.
What was it at launch?
It was like $600 when it came out.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
Well, I think that might be a little bit much.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
All right. Well, after the 3DO is, I can't tell if we're getting better. We're probably getting a little better, but still not very good. The Atari Jaguar.
Yeah, that's not much of an improvement.
Yeah. They gave this one a D, and the titles available at launch were Cybermorph, which is a pack-in game. Where did you learn to fly? Is what I think of when I think of that game. Raiden, which I think is a spaceship shooter. Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy. All right. Well, I don't know what that is. Probably a platformer.
I'm guessing a platformer. Their attempt at a Sonic or something.
Yeah, Trevor McFur.
Trevor McFur.
I wonder if he's like a fox or something. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Google Images. What is his name again? Trevor McFur. He is a cheetah? Yeah, I guess he's a cheetah or a leopard, one of the two. I guess they look the same to me. Well, he looks dumb. He's just like a human with a cheetah head. Plus, why would he be a cheetah on the Jaguar? He should be a jaguar.
He should be a jaguar, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good marketing scheme. You're welcome, Harry.
Probably a little late now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that was a D minus. All right, we flipped the page. Holy shit, there's still quite a few to go. Okay, let's try and go quick. The Saturn, which is becoming a personal favorite console of mine, and they gave it a C+. Some pretty decent games at launch. Clockwork Knight, Daytona USA, Panzer Dragoon, Pebble Beach Golf Links, Virtua Fighter, which is the pack-in game, and Worldwide Soccer. I've only played one of those, and it's Panzer Dragoon, but
yeah, I mean the
decent games there.
Yeah, the Daytona, the Saturn version of Daytona was pretty arcade accurate. What else was it? The Clockwork Knight is a pretty good platformer. And Virtua Fighter is good. Those are the ones that jump out at me. But
yeah. Okay, so after that is the PlayStation, which got a C. The Saturn beat the PlayStation. Holy cow! They have Battle Arena Toshinden, ESPN Extreme Games, Kileak, The DNA Imperative, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Raiden Project, Rayman, Ridge Racer, and Street Fighter the Movie. Haven't played a single one of them. Well, I played NBA Jam, but not on the PlayStation.
Yeah, that's probably the best one out of the bunch, actually. I mean, Battle Arena Toshinden isn't too bad. I mean, it's a 2D fighter, so it's not too bad. But outside of that, there's not much going for it at launch, anyway. It got better though.
Yeah, luckily. When did that come out? 95. Okay. All right. So after that is the Nintendo 64, which got a pretty good rating, an A minus. Um,
Yeah,
let's see.
64 had a good launch.
Let's see. It says similar to the Super NES before it. It was not quality, or it was quality, not quantity for the launch at the N64. Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings 64. Super Mario 64, undoubtedly my favorite Super Nintendo game. Or I mean, N64. And then maybe I don't know, Ocarina or something. But Super Nintendo or Super Mario 64 was badass.
Yeah, I think Nintendo always tends to have pretty good launches. Like, like they say there, they stress quality over quantity, which is usually a good move.
Yeah, yeah. Notice on the three consoles that Nintendo's released, or actually four if you count the Game Boy, Mario is always present.
Yeah. Well, they know their audience.
That's true. Well, do they? We'll take a look at the later releases here.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Sega Dreamcast comes next with a very good rating of a B+. That's pretty solid. The Dreamcast is kind of like a cult following system type of thing, you know. All right, there is like a ton of games here. Arrow Wings, Air Force Delta, Stringer, Expendable, Flag to Flag, House of the Dead 2, Hydro Thunder, Monaco Grand Prix 2, Mortal Kombat Gold, NFL 2K, NFL Blitz 2000, Pen Trisalon. I don't know if I said that right. Power Stone, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Sonic Adventure, very nice. Soul Calibur, Tokyo Extreme Racer, Trick Style, TNN Motorsports, Hardcore, Heat. Wow, mouthful.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's quite a few more. Um, I mean, there's quite a few there. The only one of that I've played is Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. It's the only one which is good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how far I got into that. Not very far. I kind of lost interest in it, but I have Sonic Adventure 2, but I just never played it. I've heard
Yeah.
it's good. All right. After that is the. What are they doing here? You know what's their angle? It goes from. All right. Well, we'll skip and go to the Game Boy Color, which they gave a C. It has Centipede, Game & Watch, Gallery 2, Pocket Bomberman, and Tetris DX. Yeah, it sounds like a decent group to me. Eh? Pocket Bomberman, I could.
Yeah, not too bad.
Um, Tetris DX. I've never played that. Do you know what that is?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm guessing it's just Tetris. But they probably called it DX just to delineate it from the original one.
Yeah. Pocket Bomberman. Whatever. Okay. So that was 1998. We did the Dreamcast, which was 99. Sort of a mistake there. And then we'll go to the PlayStation 2, which got a C. And damn it, there's a ton of them. Okay. Armored Core 2, Dead or Alive 2, Hardcore, Dynasty Warriors 2, ESPN International Track and Field, ESPN Winter X Games, Snowboarding. Oh, that was all one game. Winter X Games Snowboarding. Eternal Ring, Evergrace, Fantavision, Gun Griffin Blaze, Kinson, Madden NFL 2001, Midnight Club Street Racing, MotoGP, NHL 2001, Orphan, Scion of Sorcery, Cue Ball Billiards Master, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2, Ridge Racer 5, Silent Scope, Smuggler's Run, SSX, Street Fighter EX3, Summoner, Swing Away Golf, Tekken Tag Tournament, Time Splitters, Unreal Tournament, Wild Wild Racing, and X Squad.
There's some decent titles in there. I don't really know why they get. I think a C is a little low on that
one. I gotta tell you, I don't know that I've played a single one of these games. My brother had a PlayStation 2. I was never a PlayStation fan. I'm a Nintendo or now Xbox, but Nintendo fan at the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
played here. You get some good games in there. Midnight Club was good. You know, you got your
Silent
sports titles.
Scope. I've always wanted to give a try.
You gotta have the gun to make that worthwhile. Otherwise, it'd just be stupid. To play that with a controller would be like retarded.
Yeah, I always thought that it looked Interesting. I saw a review of the Xbox One. It looked pretty cool.
I mean, it's a blast to play in the arcade. Like,
That's probably hard to get, that gun.
yeah, I know there was like a specific silent scope gun, but
Yeah.
I don't know how rare it wound up being.
Okay. All right. So after the PS2 was my console of choice besides the GameCube, which we skipped, but we'll do after the Xbox. After the GameCube, anyway. Okay, so the Xbox got a B plus. You got 4x4 Evo 2, Air Force Delta Storm, Arctic Thunder, Cell Damage, Dead or Alive 3, Fusion Frenzy, Halo Combat Evolved plus, Mad Dash Racing, NFL Fever 2002, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, Project Gotham Racing, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yeah, those are some pretty good games in there, actually. I've played a few of those.
Yeah,
Gotham Racing, Tony Hawk, and, well, God, Halo. It just...
what did they rate it?
A B.
A B.
I'd say
give it an A, but
I'd say
that's
B plus maybe. A minus could. Yeah, okay, maybe. Okay, all right. Now Game Boy Advance, they have given a B. There are a few of these as well. Army Men Advance, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Choo Choo Rocket, Earthworm Jim, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Fire Pro Wrestling, GT Advance, Championship Racing, Iridian 3D, Konami Crazy Racers, Namco Museum, Pinobi, Wings of Adventure, Pitfall the Mayan Adventure, Rayman Advance, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Round 2, Super Dodgeball Advance, Super Mario Advance, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Whew. There's some goodies in there.
Yeah, that was a good launch. Like, I remember Fire Pro was really good. The Tony Hawk was actually really good for a mobile game. And Super Dodgeball was fun as heck, but...
Yeah. Super Mario Advance, that was Super Mario World, or Super Mario Brothers 2, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was 2.
Yeah, I think it was too. That was the only one I didn't get, actually. I got the other 3 after that, but I didn't get the first one. Alright, GameCube, B minus. The GameCube was the first system I got of this generation. It was All-Star Baseball 2002, Batman Vengeance, Crazy Taxi, Dave Merrill Freestyle, BMX 2, Disney's Tarzan Untamed, Luigi's Mansion, Madden NFL 2002, NHL Hits 2002, Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2, Super Monkey Ball, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Wave Brace, Blue Storm. I think a B minus is a little low, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good titles in there.
I've never played Luigi's Mansion, but I've heard it's kind of decent.
It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely not a Mario game, but it's fun.
Yeah, and then I've heard Star Wars Rogue Leader is really good.
Oh yeah.
And then Super Monkey Ball, that's a fun one. And Wave Race Blue Storm, that's a good game. Wait, was Wave Race? I thought Wave Race was like a launch title for the 64.
The original Wave, yeah, there was a Wave Race 64. Yeah. I don't know if it was a launch title.
Yeah, according to this magazine, it isn't. I could have sworn it was. Well, whatever. Okay, all right, now we move in. Oh, not quite to the current generation. Okay, this seems a little bizarre. Nintendo DS got a D. A D? All right, here are the games. Super Mario 64 DS, Asphalt Urban GT, The Herb Sims in the City, Feel the Magic, XYXX, Spider-Man 2, and Madden NFL 2005. Okay, Super Mario 64 DS right there is a reason enough to give it like a B.
Yeah, but if that's your only good game,
I guess so.
Based on that lineup, that's pretty much the only one worth playing.
I got Asphalt Urban GT and Spider-Man 2. Asphalt was decent. Spider-Man was kind of... But
yeah.
Okay, so that was 2004. We'll just go ahead and do the PlayStation Portable and get that out of the way. They gave this one a C. Ape Escape on the Loose, Darkstalkers Chronicle, The Chaos Tower, Dynasty Warriors, Gretzky NHL, Luminous, Metal Gear Acid, that's a funny name, Metal Gear Acid, NBA, that's just the name of the game, NBA, okay.
NBA.
Need for Speed Underground Rivals, NFL Street 2 Unleashed, Ridge Racer, Spider-Man 2, Tiger Woods PGA Tour, very nice. Now Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix, Twisted Metal Hand On, Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade, Wipeout Pure, and World Tour Soccer. I've not played a single one of them. But their sound, like Ape Escape is supposed to be pretty good, and then Tiger Woods, that's probably pretty decent. Luminous is like a puzzle game or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's the only one I could even comment on. Yeah, I haven't played any of these. Do you have a PSP?
I do.
So is
But
that a C rating or what?
well, see, I didn't have it at launch, so I can't really.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, based on that lineup, I would say yeah, that's about right.
Okay. Next we'll do the Xbox 360. They gave a B minus. All right. The games at launch are Amped 3, Call of Duty 2, Condemned: Criminal Origins, FIFA 06, Gun, Cameo: Elements of Power, Madden NFL 2006, NBA 2K6, NBA Live 06, Need for Speed Most Wanted, NHL 2K6, Perfect Dark Zero, Peter Jackson's King Kong. I like that game a lot. Project Gotham Racing 3, Quake 4, Ridge Racer, Tony Hawk's, or wow, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2006, and then Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I gotta tell you, I think that warrants better than a B minus.
Yeah,
That's an A minus, B plus for me.
yeah, I would agree with that. There was some really good. I mean, Call of Duty was really good. Like you said, King Kong was really good.
Tiger Woods was pretty good.
Yeah,
I've heard people complain about Perfect Dark Zero. Is it really that bad?
it's not great. I'll
Oh,
grant that. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not that.
not as good as the original, huh?
Yeah, definitely not.
Alright, so next is the PlayStation 3. I probably can't really comment on any of this because I've never played a PlayStation 3. Well, I have once. Alright, they gave it a C, much like the PlayStation 2 and PSP that came before it and the PlayStation. Every PlayStation console's got a solid C. Alright, Call of Duty 3, Genji, Days of the Blade, Madden NFL 07, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire, NBA 2K7, Need for Speed Carbon, NHL 2K7, Resistance, Fall of Man, Ridge Racer 7, PGA Tour, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2007, and Tony Hawk's Project 8. I played Tiger Woods, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything really stand out. You know, Resistance was okay. But nothing. When sports games are your best games at launch, that's not usually a good sign.
Okay. Alright, we're down to the last two. Both Nintendo. The Nintendo Wii got a B minus. At launch, there was Avatar: The Last Airbender, Call of Duty 3, Cars, Dragon Ball Z, Bodoku Tenkaichi 2, Excite Truck. That's a really fun game, Excite Truck. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, GT Pro Series, Happy Feet, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Awesome. Madden NFL 07, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Monster 4x4 World Circuit, Rampage Total Destruction, Rayman, Raving Rabbits, Red Steel, SpongeBob SquarePants, Creature from the Krusty Krab, Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz, Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, Trauma Center Second Opinion, and Wii Sports, the pack-in game.
Right.
Alright, I don't know. A B minus sounds a little low. You gotta say, Twilight Princess obviously is, an excellent game, and then Wii
Yeah.
Sports was pretty fun too, I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, Twilight Princess is really like the only top-notch title. So
That's true. There's no
I think
Mario
it's about
game.
right.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first time they didn't get a Mario on there. Well, I guess Luigi's Mansion isn't Mario. But... Alright, so now is the last one. I think this is a little harsh, but they kind of got to do what they got to do. They gave the 3DS a D. The games at launch are Asphalt 3D, Bust-A-Move Universe, Combat of Giants, Dinosaurs 3D, Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, Nintendogs plus Cats, Madden NFL Football, Pilot Wings Resort, Pro Evolution Soccer 3DS, Rayman 3D, Ridge Racer 3D, Samurai Warriors Chronicles, The Sims 3, Steel Diver, Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, The Super Monkey Ball 3D, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. I think a D is a little low.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd give it a C, probably.
yeah, I'd say a C is good. But, I don't know. With the 3DS, they probably could have waited a little bit to, release it and had, I don't know, Ocarina of Time be a pack-in or something. Or not a pack-in,
Yeah.
a launch title. Or, made Mario, more... Waited till Mario came out or developed Mario earlier or something.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the last one. Let's see. They have a little thing that says the best/worst console launches. The best is Super Mario Brothers NES, and the worst is oh, I'm sorry. They're just giving systems. The best is the NES. The worst is the 3DS. Oh, come on. That's
I wouldn't say the 3DS is the
okay.
worst.
The award for best day one software lineup has to go to the NES. Yada yada yada. The accolade, yeah, okay. The accolade for Nintendo is balanced out by the fact that the 3DS is the worst-rated launch according to Game Informer's own review scores. The 15 titles available day one, not including Combat of Giants, Dinosaurs 3D, which we didn't review, only scored an average of 6.45. This was only slightly worse than the DS's 6.75. Well, I guess if you're crunching numbers, yeah, whatever. All right, so that's every launch title. That's that they covered. You know what they missed? The CDI. The CDI.
Yeah.
They didn't do the Sega CD or the 32X either.
Maybe they don't consider them their own systems, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's a point. Or a good point. All right, well that's it. I'm out of breath, man. I gotta tell you, I am out of breath.
That might have been the longest spotlight ever.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm actually a little tired of that. And I have to talk more because I did Game of the Week this week. And I actually originally decided or thought that Game of the Week I would do. I thought it'd be fun to look at the Battletoads series, and then I thought, well, maybe it'd be fun to do Contra series. But then I actually changed it, and it's again, and it's a game we actually mentioned a little bit earlier, and it's Road Rash on the Genesis. Do you have it?
I don't think I actually have it in my collection right now, but I have played it. So.
Oh, it's such a classic. Such
Yeah.
a classic. When I was talking earlier about games that I could just put in and play anytime, ones that come to mind are Sonic 1, Altered Beast, and Road Rash. Oh, and Battletoads, but mainly those three.
Yeah.
So basically, for those barbarians who haven't played Road Rash, it is a motorcycle racing game that it's pretty standard, I guess, but you're allowed to get weapons like chain whips and lead pipes and stuff like that, and you get to beat players off their bikes. You can punch them. You don't even have to have a weapon. You can just punch them, and you have to. I think there's 6 races in the first world, if you will. I don't know what you exactly have to do to rank up to the next races, but you can rank up, buy new bikes. The music is ingrained in my cranium forever.
Yeah. It had like that rock soundtrack.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then, yeah, and on top of that, it plays excellent. It doesn't just have like a good premise. It plays really good. So, I don't know if it was the first or it was probably one of the first where the tracks aren't flat. There's actually hills and little things you go over, which is nice. Makes it different. Okay, so after Road Rash, there is Road Rash 2 on the Genesis, which I also have, but I've played very little. There's Road Rash 3, which I don't even have. And then there's Road Rash on the Sega CD. There's a Road Rash on the 3DO, I believe. There's one on the PlayStation 64. But mainly, I think when people think Road Rash, they think of the Genesis trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think people usually prefer the second one. I actually prefer the first, but it's a great series. Great series.
Yeah, I was always partial to the original.
Yeah, me too. It was just the one I played the most of when I was a kid. So. All right, so we'll just make it short with the Road Rash this time.
Yeah.
We need to let Nick talk. So, all right, so you that'll be it for Game of the Week, Road Rash. If you don't have it, it's real cheap. Get it. It's like one of the most common Genesis games out there. It's a lot. All right, so now we can do the final segment. It's the what we're playing. So, Nick, you can go ahead.
Well, I guess I could do 2. I'll do one that I actually am not playing this week, but I played it before and haven't had a chance to talk about it because I want to talk about it. And that is Fight Night Champion. I played it on the 360, but it's on PS3 too. it just like they did something different for a change with the story mode in it. Like you actually feel like you're playing through, kind of like a movie almost. You basically follow this guy's career. He starts off as an amateur and wins the not the Olympics because they can't call it the Olympics, but that's essentially what it was. And then, he turns pro. He winds up getting set up by this promoter that he doesn't want to work for and gets thrown in jail. So then you got to have these prison fights and work your way back out. It's just really a good story. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's actually worth playing through the story mode in a boxing game, which sounds kind of weird to say, but it was fun.
What's the name of this game?
Fight Night Champion.
Oh, is this a newer?
It's actually been out for a while. Can't remember exactly when it came out, but it's not brand new now.
What system is this on?
Xbox 360, PS3.
Oh, okay, all right. I've never played a fight night game.
Yeah, I mean they were always fun back in the day, but like there was never anything. It was just you boxing for the most part. They had career modes.
Now hold on. Is it better than Punch Out?
Of course not. Nothing's better than.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you can acknowledge that fact.
No, nothing's ever better than Punch Out. Come on.
I want to play the new Wii Punch Out pretty bad.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to the classic, but yeah, Fight Night Champion. It's cool. It's something different. That like I don't. There was a game on the original Xbox. Was it the original Xbox or was it 360?
What, Fight Night?
No, it was Don King's Prize Fighter. I want to say that it was 360, but I'm not for sure. But they kind of did the same thing in that one, where they had like this mockumentary that went along with the story mode, which was kind of cool. So Fight Night Champion kind of followed that, but definitely go check it out. If you like boxing, you'll like it.
What, I forgot what I was going to ask. Alright, you said you had 2 this week, or?
Yeah, I have the other one that I just started playing, which, oddly enough, is another EA game. It's like we have EA love this week, but...
Road Rash, that's EA too.
Yeah, exactly. It's Need for Speed The Run.
I heard mixed things about those.
So far I'm liking it. Like, it's a little bit different. This time it's a racing game with a story. It's got that movie feel to it, especially the intro that you start off with. You're basically in a car, duct taped to the steering wheel, and these mobsters are gonna like crush the car in this big car crusher, and you have to play this little quick time event to get out of the car in time, and then steal another car and run away. But it's kind of cool, and so from that moment you're hooked into the story, but from there it turns into a racing game with just kind of a story linking it together, which is this big cross country race that you're in. And then each stage you have a certain goal that you have to meet to move on. But it's good. I mean, it looks really good. And it plays decent enough, so. Like, control's a little loose for me, but it's not bad.
Yeah, the only Need for Speed game I've played is Hot Pursuit 2 on the GameCube. It was alright, I thought. It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, Need for Speed is always fun. It's a good
I actually prefer the Burnout games.
Yeah.
Burnout. I had a lot of fun with the original. So... Alright, well, I wish my personal one was a little bit better, but I really haven't played anything different. I'm still playing through Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. Nick in the comments, Paul and Nick 1982 mentioned it. It's an excellent game, one of the best Wii games, and according to him, one of the best RPGs of all time. Which for him is a pretty bold statement because he's like the RPG master, but
yeah, he really is.
But so yeah, if you have a Wii, definitely if you can get a hold of it, definitely check it out. Just a couple of retro games that I played for a little bit. I played some Truxton on the Genesis. It's a space shooter. The Genesis has a lot of great spaceship shooters, shmups, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
I say Truxton is probably one of the best ones. It's probably, of the ones I have, probably my favorite.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but I don't think I've ever fired it up.
I know Mark from Classic Game Room. It's like his favorite Genesis game. He's the one that actually I first heard about it, and so I ended up finding the copy. It actually goes for a little bit of money. It's kind of somewhat expensive at times, so I was lucky enough to. I think what was it? It was on. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $1.90 or something. Like some lady put it up for like an insane price. And I bought it for like $1.90 plus like $4 for shipping. So
that's not
whatever.
bad.
No, I was Very happy with that. And then the second game I've been playing a little bit of Genesis lately, as I tossed in Contra Hardcore on the Genesis. Do you have Contra Hardcore?
I do not.
All right. Well, what Contra games do you have?
Just the original, actually.
Hmm.
I might have whatever Super C on the SNES, but I can't remember.
You need to get Contra 3 on the Super NES. That's probably I don't know if it's my favorite, but anyway, Hardcore on the Genesis. It's I don't know. It's a good game and all, but it is just too hard. It is too hard. It's just not even fun, really. It really isn't. It's it,
Too hard to be enjoyable.
yeah, it is. I mean, you can tone down the difficulty to easy or something, but it's just like, come on. It's got decent graphics. They're a little faded out, but it's decent graphics. It controls fine. You actually get to pick from 4 characters, which is cool. The music's cool too, but when you shoot like an enemy or something, it like explodes. Like there's a huge explosion, and it covers up like half the screen, and then you can't see bullets. It's a flawed game, I think. It's still very good, I'd say, but it's definitely one of I don't know, of the classic Contras. It's probably my, not counting Contra Force on the NES because that doesn't count, but it's probably my second to least favorite next to Super C. Super C is a great game, but I really prefer the original over Super C.
Yeah.
I don't know what's my favorite, the original or Contra 3. Or maybe even Contra 4 is up there. That's a good one for the DS. But yeah, Contra Hardcore, it's a little too hard. Well, hardcore for me. But it's still fun. My mouth hurts.
Yeah, you've talked a lot tonight.
Yeah. Man, those launch titles killed me. Especially like the PlayStation ones. Man, they had a lot of games.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're running on an hour and 10 minutes almost, so we should probably end it here. Nick, I see you made a Facebook page.
Yes, because that's the thing to do nowadays. Everybody's got to have a Facebook page. So RattleCast has an official Facebook page. It's still a work in progress, but
Yeah. I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah,
For it, and then I'll put a little like tag in the beginning of the video so people know about it too.
Yeah, if you guys listen to the show, just go like it. It'll just give you another way to interact with us if you want.
Which is cool.
We like interaction. We want interaction.
Yes. You can also leave comments there. That'd be a good place to leave comments. Nice and easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put a link to every episode so you guys can comment there. Or you can just comment on the wall, whatever you want to do. So
yeah. So do that. Yeah, that's going to be it for episode 3. So we'll see you in 7 days. I was trying to think of how many hours that would be.
Who knows? But it depends on when you upload this, I guess, or when they're listening to it even.
That's true. So we'll see you next Friday. How about that? And we'll have another episode for you. So until then, guys, take it easy.
See you next time, guys.
Capabilities. In any case, I prefer playing single player due to the fact that I find the AI to have a greater intelligence than some players. Not only that, but I like the immersion in my games, which is why I play JRPGs, but that's just me. SOL's Game Room says, I think bias towards single player or multiplayer has a lot to do with what generation you came from, not necessarily the age of the generation of gaming at which you started playing games. I'm all about single player. I will not buy a game just for the multiplayer, like a lot of people do these days. I don't need multiplayer to enjoy Sonic and Missile Command, LOL. I love Missile Command so much. That's my favorite 2600 game.
Yeah, I think that's one of those, like, if you grew up playing the old school games, there was no online multiplayer, so I think if you grew up playing those kind of games, you're more apt to just play single player and not care so much about the multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer really didn't I mean, during the Super Nintendo era, it wasn't even hardly a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you had the local multiplayer, like, playing Street Fighter against yourself. I mean, or not yourself, but, your buddies. But it's not anywhere like it is today. So
Yeah, I think it got mostly more popular. Well, PC gaming I think helped a lot with like
yeah,
Doom and Duke Nukem. But then when the N64 came around, games like GoldenEye and Mario Kart on the Super NES. It's gonna bother me now. Hold on, one sec. Warner, Daddy. Oh, Pee Wee. Yeah, it's from Pee Wee Herman when he's in the
right.
bike shop. That's right, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. All right. Nice reference. He then says, yes, Baseball Stars, my favorite baseball game of all time, but there are a few others that rank up there as well. I don't like modern baseball games, just the good old retro ones. Okay, and then he says, I have one Baseball Stars video myself, the Retro All-Stars, but we lost, LOL. My ultimate goal that I never got around to doing was maxing out to create two teams with nothing but my subs. It ended up being a lot of work, so I did it with Ken Griffey Jr. on the Super NES instead, since it was easier and it was just as fun as Baseball Stars. Actually, I have Ken Griffey Jr. It is a pretty fun game.
Yeah, it's not bad. It just doesn't have that nostalgia value like Baseball Stars.
Yeah, that's true. All right, and then somebody had a reply. Canon Canon S24, I guess is how you'd say it. He replied to a television dude and said, I never understand why people call the PS1 a PSX when they are two different systems. If anything, it makes more sense for people to call a PS2 a PSX, considering they share the most common us had it, but I think it was a lot better on the 64.
Yeah, because that was the first, 64 and Dreamcast was the first time you had you could play four players on one console.
Yep. And then Mario Party. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, the Saturn had online multiplayer. I didn't even think to mention that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it had I think there was only 6 games for it. Let me see if I can ramble them off here. It's Duke Nukem, it's Saturn Bomberman, and I'm not going to be able to tell you anymore. Other than there's a racing one, Sega Rally Championships, I think. Or no, it's Daytona
I was
USA,
gonna say probably Daytona.
I think. And it's the Netlink edition. That's like the rarest Saturn game there is,
Huh.
from what I hear. Yeah, it fetches a little bit. Okay, Mr. B-Lands, a.k.a. James, he says, good episode, guys. I like the conversation about multiplayer gaming. There was a time I wasn't a fan of having development time spent on modes that I didn't use. Now, though, if I can play it multiplayer with Neo Flynn, it'll make me buy a game that I otherwise might not even consider. I think it's best when you have situations like Bioshock 2. Not the best game, where one team makes a single player its own experience and another team makes the multiplayer, creating two distinct modes. That's true. Yeah, I like that's I've never played BioShock, so I can't really,
Yeah,
you know.
but that's one way of doing it where you have two different teams working on the two different modes. But sometimes that can kind of create like a disconnect between the two modes. But
Yeah. I didn't even know BioShock had multiplayer. How is it?
Bioshock 2 does, but I haven't played it, so
Oh,
Bioshock 1 doesn't. I don't think have multiplayer at all. But
oh.
I haven't played either of them yet, so they're on my list. But
My friend always hounds me to play them. He acts like they're the best games ever and whatever. He hounds me to get so many games. I usually just don't do it.
yeah, well, what James says in there is true. Like we've bought games just with the intention of playing multiplayer, co-op together, which is what I kind of mentioned last week. But
Like Borderlands. Did you guys play Borderlands?
here and there, not a whole lot, but God, we spent so much time playing that game. It's really sad how much time we spent playing that game. But we bought like I think he already had Lost Planet 2, but then he talked me into Lost Planet 2 just so we could play that co-op and like Bulletstorm and Brink, which we haven't even played yet. There's a whole list of them that we have, but we're stuck on Halo Anniversary right now. So.
Oh, very nice. All right, and last but not least, Ballin Nick 1982 says, great episode. I'm more of a single-player gamer. In fact, I never play multiplayer, but then again, I rarely play FPSs though. Oh, I'm sorry. I rarely play FPS. Hey everybody, it's Corby DVS and Neo Flynn back again.
Hey, everybody.
Um, this is episode 3 of the second season. This is going to be a pretty cool episode, I think. I really like the topic thing. We got some pretty good material for the topic. I'm kind of anxious to get to that. But before that, we have some other stuff. First is being the comments from the last video. We'll go ahead and start with the oldest. And Television Dude left left quite a few. He says, I remember when the PS1 was referred to as the PSX. It wasn't called PS1 until PS2 came out. Smiley face. And then he says, more talk on retro games, please. Smiley face. And finally, oh, not finally. Oh, wow, he has 5 comments. Wow. Then he says, I don't get into multiplayer games, not unless I'm playing with a friend offline, but I usually prefer playing most games by myself. I'm a loner, daddy. What's that a reference to? I'm a loner, daddy. Oh, I've heard that before.
You got me.